as we say hello and welcome everybody to the virtual Richmond Raceway here for season 12, race 4. The iSNF Cup Series here for the Virginia is for Lovers 200. Hello, my name is Christian Delgado, your lead producer and commentator for tonight's race. Here for week number 4. We look on track here. Drivers on track here with just over 9 minutes left in practice. Currently, Bryson Bird top of the board there in that number 17 machine for RFK Racing. Bryson showed a lot of speed last week from Iowa. Now showing up and showing out here from Richmond. We got Josh Grosho, piece 2 in practice, and then familiar face that we've seen very quick here at these short tracks. The 40 to 24 of Thomas Flynn. He won last week from Iowa in a photo finish with the number 3 of Michael Kruger. So the 24 trying to build off that momentum there going into Richmond. Looking at some other people here. Up towards the boards here. The 23, James Bowles. He continues to fill in, for some part-time stuff, I believe. Bowles up to P number 7. DJ Daniels in the 30 machine. He's up to P4. Looking back here to Angel Hernandez, James Bowles, Justin Johnson. At 11, Bob's Furniture Machine. Then back there in P8. Go back to P9, just up the road here. That number 77 to Craig Launchslager. Wyatt Roberts continues to have a pretty decent season. Remember, Wyatt spun on the last lap there from Iowa. Give away a good finish. I think he ended up finishing P15. But showed incredible speed throughout last week. He's at least built off of that right now. You see him back there in P10 for the time being here in practice. I feel like that's a good starting off point here for that number 12 team. Over 6 minutes left in practice. Go to an aerial shot here for Ken. Actually, no, because we don't have our aerial cams here tonight from Richmond. We'll go on board here with this 12 machine while we have him. Bryson Bird will show us around the track a little bit here as he runs out some laps here in practice. They're still on board. And you see the drivers are going to want to paint that yellow line all the way around here. It's just a traditional short track here. I believe it's the only short track on the schedule that has this D shape though. So you're going to kind of treat it kind of like a mile and a half, right? Want to go down there and wrap the bottom. Do the 51 up there. A little bit upset. And we get off the track. Wyatt just kind of ease back in the gas. You remember the up horsepower here at these short tracks is going to make it a little bit more difficult. These drivers, obviously, this is going to be our second season with this, updated horsepower here in these next gen cars. So I would assume that, some of these drivers have gotten it under control. I've got a feel for the car. Wyatt, appreciate him taking us on board there with that number 12 team here. As we count down 5 minutes left in practice. And speaking of that, we'll go ahead and take a look at you. Unofficial points coming into tonight's race. We appreciate Delta Designs and all that group of people for helping us with our graphics department here. Look at Sartaj Maan continuing to lead the points here. Coming into Richmond, he's had a really successful season here. Going back to now second, 32 points back. Thomas Flynn in that 24 machine and his teammate Chris Otto rounding out the top 3. Why Roberts? We're just looking at him. A good step back there in that 12 machine back there, 121 points back. The Larry Fairman still in the top 5 in points there. Really good result for him. You see Bryson Bird back there in P6. He did drive the 36, I believe, the first time we got the graphic here. So obviously he's driving the 17, obviously a part-time driver here in the Cup Series. So right now Bryson Bird back there in 6th place in points. I don't know if he's going to be eligible to race for a championship if he's still part-time. So I'm going to have to talk to Rhea about that. But you see Justin Johnson back there 7th. 8th is Cody Meadows back there to P9 of James Bulls. Nick Miller, your top 10. Look back to Bob Wyckoff. A really good start of the season for him back there in P11 in points. Miguel Rangel, both. Craig Lunchschlager, Justin Parker Stranger, and Timothy Cook round out your top 16. And those would be the 16 I get in if the chase would start tonight. Look further back there. Eric Jorgensen, 1 point back of the cutoff there in 17th. Back to Frank DeAngelis, 5 points back. Steven Sears, Shane Johnson round out your top 20 in points here coming into Richmond. Go back to trackside here. Looking at some other drivers here still on track. Steven Sear in this 5. He was right there on that cutoff line. Needs to have a good race tonight here from Richmond. Not the best race last week from Iowa, unfortunately. Got loose. Ended his race early. It looks like P17 in practice, so could be worse. He just needs to continue to rattle off maybe some top 10s, some top 15s maybe if he can manage it here. Steven is pretty decent about keeping that car clean, staying out of trouble. The driver from Auburn, Maine. Him battling it out there with, I think that was the 48. Maybe that was the 51. It was the 51. And run some practice laps here. Mark Gonzalez, the driver we have to talk about here. Like he's gonna park this 2 machine potentially here. Not the season he started the season he wants. Obviously missed Daytona, and just has not had really a good first 3 races for that 2 machine. Been caught up in wrecks. Obviously got caught up in a ton of wrecks last week from Iowa out of his doing. Not the start of this season he wants to see 6 wins on his campaign, so almost 1 for 10 basically on wins to starts ratio for Mark. Unfortunately, just has not had the success I believe he wants to. You see James Bulls top of the board there in practice now. 21.07. That's almost half a second quicker. So I don't know. Maybe that was maybe a wall pop lap or something. It's definitely a track that it would probably seem possible that you could, squeeze the lap out of by just ripping the wall here. So I will go back to Bryson Bird as he's coming out of pit road. That 17 RFK machine. I'm going to call him the fastest in practice. I don't know if that 23 lap is legit. So just under a minute left in practice. We'll get ready to get into qualifying. Bryson Bird coming off of a pretty impressive performance last week from Iowa. Looking pretty quick here coming into Richmond. Kind of another similar short track here. Back to back. And then next week we'll go to New Hampshire. Another kind of flatter, shorter track that we know we're going to next week. So the potential good stretch of races here for Bryson and whatever car he decides to jump in next week. But you'll see the timer ticking down here, and we'll get ready to jump into qualifying here from Richmond. We'll do a graphics reset before we get down into qualifying here, making sure everybody's up to date here. Downloading some potential new paint schemes out on track. We'll go now down the track side here as we will look at some drivers here out on track here. Cody Meadows coming out of pit road. No, as he will not be coming out of pit road. We'll look at Angel Hernandez here. His 35, one of his part-time starts here for 23:11. It's currently top of the board, actually. Angel, 21.7. 21.4, actually, for his best lap. Go back to Wyatt Roberts. First lap for him, 21.5. Good enough for P3. If you can improve on the second lap at all. Slightly beats his lap. Back to Rhea Ferris. Filling in for the 6 machine. You're just trying to baby this car on this first side. Maybe get the tires heated up. See what she can do here on the second lap. Ooh, up at the outside wall there. That first lap time is going to have to be the one that counts here. Justin Johnson on board. Oh, Justin loose on this first lap. He's going to have to try it again. See if anybody else, some other drivers on track trying to just get some practice laps underway here. Oh, Jorgensen loose across the stripe here. Sartaj Mahan up to P2. Good lap for that 19 machine. Thomas Flynn top of the board, 21.46. Go back to Justin Johnson. Gonna need a flyer here on this second lap. And now your top 3, Flynn, Mon, and Hernandez. One Chevy with the 2 Toyotas there further back there. Actually, 3 Toyotas in a row there. Second through fourth, and comes Justin across the line. 21.5. Good enough for P4. So he'll jump to 43 there. Take that fast 4 spot. I see no one else here on track. We got quite a few drivers who haven't set a lap yet. 8 drivers here. Not to set a lap here in qualifying. So it looks like that will be your unofficial poll. Will go to the 24 of Thomas Flynn. Taj Mon will be the front row there. Angel Hernandez, Justin Johnson, your fast 4. Looks like these drivers here, these 9 or so drivers, aren't going to set a lap. Aren't going to have enough time now with just under 30 seconds left in qualifying to get anything done here. So, going to be Thomas Flynn, Sartaj Mon, HMS JGR on the front row here for week 4 from Richmond. Good camera shots here from our camera crew here with High Velocity TV and iRacing. The big Toyota sign there, the big Toyota building. Obviously, Toyota, a key partner here for Richmond Raceway Bulls Cookout. So, cool to see these camera shots here as we get ready to go into the race here to start week 4 here from the Richmond Raceway for the Virginia as for Lovers 200. We wait on these drivers to get into their virtual cars. So remember, a lot that they can do here to get things fixed on their car, obviously. And that's what I love about the next gen, is there is so much you can do just to get maybe that one lap pace out of qualifying, and then you can change the master cylinders, you can change the brake bias for the race to potentially, not be as hard on the car, because obviously we're gonna have to go 200 laps, yet less 2, right? That we do for qualifying. Most of our drivers here out on track. We'll go ahead and get the track side here. Take a look at our starting lineup for tonight's race here from Richmond. We'll see Thomas Flynn, your pole sitter there in that 24 machine, alongside Sartaj Maan in that 19 machine. Will be your front row. Angel Hernandez in the 35 will be your third place driver, alongside Justin Johnson in the number 11 machine. You'll see Rangel back there in the 43 alongside White Roberts rounding out that third row. Greg Lunchslager in the 77 will be back there in P7, and James Bowles, your top 8, and you're filling out the top 10 tonight. Josh Grosso and DJ Daniels in that third machine. Looking further outside the top 10 here, Cody Meadows in that number 9 machine will be back there in P11 alongside the 21 of Justin Barkley. Scott Trusty in the 47 will be back there 13th. Rounding out the top 14, Bryson Bird in that 17 car. Obviously fastest in practice. Not the speed he wanted in qualifying. You'll see 15th will be Steven Sear alongside Jackson Trusty in the number 51. Jeff Weimer and John Hopley will round out that row 9, and rounding out the top 20, Mike Iskandar and Matt Metler in the 33, filling in for RCR tonight. Look further back out here, Larry Fairman, Eric Jorgensen, row number 11, and rounding out tonight's field here for the qualifying effort will be Rhea Ferris, and then Enrique Cucalan on back, decided not to set a lap right there. So the Gonzalez, Cook, Hendricks, Preston, Justin Johnson, Bob Wyckoff, rounding out the field outside this top 31. Be the number 71 of Brian Treadwell. Still waiting on this drivers meeting. Get over with here. I think we'll be able to tune in to Rhea this time by. I think we just have it manually turned off here. We were having some troubles in an earlier broadcast getting the voice shut off, and obviously it's nice to be able to hear, but obviously there's some communication that we probably don't want to hear up here in the HVTV booth. So we'll continue to take a look at here. See now that 24, that Cincinnati 24 machine will be leading us to green there. Thomas Flynn, driver from Charlotte, North Carolina. 1 win to his name. Actually, 2 wins to his name now, as he won last week. Obviously, our CFC not got updated. So, looking to start this race off with a high. But he's going to have to fend off that 19 is Sartaj. Sartaj so quick. Anywhere he goes, he's going to be a favorite to win tonight. He can keep that car on track. Taking a look at our race weather for tonight's broadcast. 85-degree track temp, 92-degree track temp, 85-degree air temp, 46-degree humidity, and partly cloudy skies out here from Richmond, Virginia. What better way to start this week 4 campaign here? We'll get ready to get the one to go here from Richmond. Couple of keynotes to talk about here before we get ready to go green. We do have 2 stage cautions tonight on laps 50 and 100. So the 1/4 mark and the 1/2 mark here in tonight's race. We'll get a stage caution. We'll slow everybody back down. 0 fast repairs here tonight from Richmond. 60% fuel and 4 sets of extra tires. So 5 total sets of tires for tonight's race. Something to talk about here if we maybe, get a more than we want cautions. Hopefully that doesn't happen, but we'll have to just see here. You'll see the pace car take the hard left turn down pit road. We'll get ready to go. 200 laps here for the Richmond, for the Virginia's for Lovers. 200. Green flag in the air. Coming across the stripe for the first time. Thomas Flynn shows the way here for lap number 2. He's pulled away from second place, Sartaj Mon, by a decent margin there. See side-by-side battle back there for P4. Meet Justin Johnson. Miguel Ringel. The battle for P4. Side-by-side still across the stripe. Give it to the 43. Ringel trying to hold on here. Looks like he'll get clear potentially out of turn 2. No. Yes. Side by side further back here. Craig Launschlager going to make up some spots here, but you'll see the 23. James Bowles using the top side. And get side by side with the 12 on the bottom. Wyatt Roberts, James Bowles side by side further back here for P6. Caution. Brian Treadwell around in the back. Surprise, surprise. Brian Treadwell. Have to park it here. On a replay. Started around here. He just lose it on his own. Let's get tagged by the 6er Rhea Ferris as well. He'll be parked up there backwards. And a turn 4 there. Gets it parked down here off the track. Oh, that's scary. Caution will wave here early here on lap number 4. Security back up one more time. Caution out one more time here from lap 7. Thomas Flynn still leading the race here. He's led every lap of the 9th race here. Got a good jump there on the initial start. Maneuvered around Sartaj Mon as he sits back there in P2. And at the top 3, Angel Hernandez. And kind of the big 3 up here towards the front here. Obviously, you look at Thomas Flynn. Got the win last week. You look at Sartaj. Won 2 of the last 4. 2 of the last 3, actually. You look at Angel Hernandez. 3-time champion. 18-time race winner here in iSNF Cup Series. So, kind of the big 3 up front here in season number 12. Green this time looks like the 24 took the bottom side. Here we go. Pace car off. Back in the restart zone. Thomas Flynn. Back to the stripe, back green. The good jump out of the 24. He's going to get cleared for the race lead, and then another battle for back here. Go Ringel looking at the top side of this 19. Bartage gonna hold pursuit right now. The battle side by side back here. Justin Johnson, Josh Grosso. That's not Josh. That is the 23 of James Bowles. Josh was heading 23 for so long. When I see Josh in the track, you see Wyatt Roberts up the track there. You see some 3 wide for the back here to 77 to Craig. Gonna take advantage here. Maybe get a 2 for 1. It's around the 12. Gonna try to maneuver around the 20 there, Josh. Not gonna make it work, but here comes the 9 of Cody Meadows at the top side. On board with the 9. Cody up 2 spots from where he started. See that 23 getting a little upset there at a turn 2. Again, an upset there in the 10, 3, and 4. Oh, a little bit of contact with him in the 77. Josh could have moved him to the bottom. I think he's sensitive to a little bit of handling issues in James's car right now. James falling to the back really quickly here. We'll see Cody Meadows around him as well. James Bowles inside the top 5 all the way out. In the back half of the top 10 now. Josh in the 77, Craig Launschlager battling it out here. That 6 wins in his career as well. Minnesota native. Got to put the pressure on Justin Johnson here. This is KGR teammate. '71, Brian Tribble. Going another lap down there, trying to be cordial with the rest of the field here. That little bit of left front damage on the 71 as he just pancakes it up an outside wall. Further up front, Thomas Flynn. About a half a second gap. Back to the rest of the field here. Thomas obviously showed a lot of pace from Iowa. Starting to show that pace here once again in Richmond. 24 looks like it's on rails right now here. This first almost 20 laps of racing here. Not so many doing battles. It looks like further outside the top 15, Davey Hendricks. We know he's got some pace in that car. Gonna drive his way up to the front here. Filling in for that 48 machine. Not the best. I don't think he even set a qualifying lap, so he's had to drive his way up to the front the hard way. Him up 10 spots from where he started. By far the biggest mover in the race is this 48 machine. Look at these stats here for Davey. Going to move his way up to the field here. Got his boss man right in front of him. Steven Sear in the 5. The 48 looked to the bottom side. Steven. I stalled out here behind Steven, and so I haven't been able to make the pass work yet. I think everybody's starting to get single file here. Thomas Flynn continuing to pull away. He has been running a little bit slower than the rest of the field there. Last lap for Thomas, 22.5 to a 22.41. For Miguel Rangel, who's gotten around some of your drivers here. In the 19 is Sartaj. She was in P2. He's all the way back to P7. What happened to this 19 machine? Let's say hello to everybody in the live chat here. Georgia Barker. Cheering for the 51 there. One of the trusty brothers. Yeah, I don't know what happened to Sartosh here. Back here in P7, now back to P8. The handling has gone away there in that 19 machine. So it's been Miguel Rangel picking over P2. Was running a little bit faster laps than that 24 for a couple laps there, but Thomas has started to put the pressure back on there. Dropped back down into the fours once again. Was running in the fives. Maybe had a little bit of mistake there. He overheated the tires. Now back, trying to pull away once again. The rest of the field behind this 24 machine. About halfway done with stage one there. We just eclipsed the halfway mark here. Stage number one. Start to see a battle further back there. Justin Johnson just trying to hold on to the spot here. 77 to Craig Launchschlager. Trying to make the pass work here to turn 1 and 2. Greg will make the spot up. We'll move him up inside of the top 5. He kind of second on back, just kind of under a blanket here. Nobody able to kind of really make moves on anybody. That 24 just continues to pull away. Angel looks like he wants to make the pass work here on this 43. Trying to be cordial. Remember, he's still a part-time driver. Trying to be patient with this pass. Same thing with the 20 of Grasso, right? These two drivers usually show up together when they run part-time. Angel, putting the bumper to the back of this 43. Said, hey, you're slowing everybody behind you up. Let's go here. You're looking at that inside here. We'll make the pass work for P2 as the 43 upset there off the bumper of the 77. Launchschlager trying to take advantage. Putting the bumper to the 43. 43 is going to hang tough on the top side. But I'll allow the 20 of Grasso to get clear. I'm interested to see if this 43 that's going to pay the favor here later in the race. Handling's trying to go away from Miguel, but probably not a fan of that. Number 77, putting the bumper to him. You see the 34, Larry Fairman. Trying to get out of the way here, these lead lap cars. Also the 10. I believe that's Jurgensen. Getting put a lap down as well. Now what can Angel do here? The The gap up to the leader there. And Thomas has done a fantastic job just getting through this lap traffic. Continue to pull the gap here. Pulling the gap on one of the best here in the Cup Series, Angel Hernandez. Caution! Cody Meadows around. Look and see what happened to Cody. Find a 9 here. Alright. Why our cameras wouldn't grab Cody here. Oh man. Two former teammates tingling up here out of turn 4. I don't know if Cody just got maybe upset here. And drove it up the track there. Put the 11 in the outside wall. And around he'll go. Oh, what a shame. Watching out one more time here. Cody Meadows around. Will that bring anybody to the pit road? Like the race leaders will elect to stay out here. They should easily be able to make it on fuel. So, and right now, if I'm this 24, this car feels pretty nice right now. You do see a couple drivers coming down pit road, including P2 of Angel Hernandez. He'll probably win the race off pit road. Larry Fairman there. So Angel, Josh, Shane Johnson, Sartaj. All down pit road by the looks of it. Get a 54 there. Okay. 22 laps down. Just had terrible luck here in iSNF, unfortunately. We know he's a fast driver. Hasn't been able to catch a break here in the Cup Series, so. It's back there 22 laps down. We should get the win the green this time by. I mean, similar. New cast of characters up here towards the front, outside of Thomas Flynn. Greg Launschlager gonna line up here on the outside. That'll be Rangel Mark Gonzalez up 20 wood spots. He'll start there up there, second on that top side. You'll see these cars go back into restart zone. Thomas Flynn. 8 to go here at stage number 1. The 77 did not go. They're gonna allow that inside cycle up towards the front. The first 3. Clear here, the rest of the field. Justin Johnson leapfrogs a couple spots there. Caution. 660 Jeff Weimersch. 51 to Jackson Trusty around here in the back. And then see what happened here. $51 to Jackson there. On his own business there on the top side. Gets up in the outside wall there. Maybe scrubs a little bit of speed. Ah, man, just comes off the wall. Grabs the 60 of Weimer. They'll both get stopped here. And a half, I would say Just 3/4 way down the front stretch. That will definitely be a caution. So that wasn't within the 5 to go, so we will be getting back going to green here before we get to stage. We get the 1 to green this time by. Oh, 2 to green. My apologies. But some other drivers make their way down pit road. This is the one to go this time by. Looks like Thomas Flynn at the bottom. Having a great race for himself. Obviously coming here in the top 5 in points. And like he's going to try to get this stage win under his way here. It'll be a green-white checkered here for stage number 1. Thomas Flynn, Miguel Rangel, Justin Johnson, James Bowles. Back to green here, green-white checkered here for stage number 2. Someone off the pace there. DJ Daniel getting out of the way there. Caution. DJ Daniels just parked the car there. Anticlimactic way to end stage number 1, but pulls out of the way here, comes to a stop. That will be the caution. Stage winner number 1 goes to the 24 Thomas Flynn. Take a quick commercial break here, and we'll show you the race rundown of the race off pit road here right after this quick commercial break.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Welcome everybody back. here for the Virginia's for Leverage 200. Week number 4 for the iSNF Cup Series. A bit of a change up front here. Had a couple drivers who flipped the stage. And they will cycle back out to the race lead here. The stage number 2 there. Angel Hernandez, Josh Grosso, Ty Tajman, Mike Iskandar, Matt Metler, Justin Barkley, John Hopley, through top 7. And these are the 7 drivers who flipped the stage here. Came down pit road at the very earliest of that 7 laps ago here to flip the stage and get the track position here to start stage number 2. And Thomas Flynn will be that first driver. See that 4th car on the outside there with those fresh Goodyear tires. A little bit more fuel. Obviously marginally more, but still a little bit more. The Angel Hernandez, Josh Grosso, the 2 Toyotas. Back inside the restart zone. Back green here for stage number 2. Angel up through the gears here. Turn 1 and 2. Gonna keep the race lead. Is wrecking in the back. 43 Wrangle around. Shane Johnson. See the 4. John Hopley around. Early in stage 2. Caution will wave one more time. Take a look at the replay here. See what happened here on the restart. Looking at the 4 of Hopley. Remember, Hopley, one of those drivers who stayed out here on the older tires. It just looks like he's just slow compared to the rest of the drivers here. Gets kind of used up the track there. He gets up into the 43. The 43 gets up into the 77 Launchschlager. And then the 4 just, and Hopley just kind of spins it out after the caution is waved. And that's the give and take of staying out there when you might not have the fastest car. Is you have the chance of getting ran over. And that's exactly what we saw right there. And that's why, like, in real life, you don't see a lot of those, like, you don't see, like, you know, Rick Ware and, you know, Team Amerivet and all those guys flip the strategy like that just because they know that they're slower. They're probably going to get ran over if they try to hold anybody up. And I saw the same thing there with that Ford machine. Caution back out here on lap 55. We'll see that 35 continue to lead some laps here. Angel Hernandez, first time he's been up front. Been up inside the top 3 basically throughout the whole race, but obviously that 24 was a class of the field there in stage number 1. If he led every lap. You see the lights off on the pace car. Here to get this race back going green here from Richmond. But once again, Hernandez and Grosso side by side going back to the restart zone. Back green. And a really good restart out of both drivers there on the front row. They'll get clear for first and second. Get some side-by-side for the back. Thomas Flynn on those new tires trying to drive his way up through the field. Side-by-side with Mike Iskandar at track house number 1. See the battle there? Here comes Wyatt Roberts there. Side by side. Caution waves. See further back here. The Great Ferris and Pit Road. I can't really see who I got caught up with. Maybe Justin Johnson, potentially. Take a look here. Obviously, we had a little distraction up here in the HTV booth, but take a look and see what happened. Looks like it was the 11 of Justin. He just got loose on his own. We'll see. Great camera angle. Yeah, and he'll go around there. Caution will wave once again here. From Richmond. Seems like a trouble here in the handling department here for these drivers. So Angel Hernandez will continue to lead some laps. Remember, we do get that second stage caution here on lap number 100. Still got a little bit of ways to go. These laps do fly by pretty quickly here from Richmond. We're running, what, 21, 22 second lap times here. So, we can keep it green, of course. Had a decent first stage there. Obviously, we started the wreck a little bit towards the end of stage 1. This is what gave at stage 1 to the 24 pretty easily, but had a pretty decent long run there throughout stage 1. See the pace car, another hard left turn down pit road. Still those three Toyotas up front. Back in the restart zone, back green. Our lap 64. Angel, Josh. Decent jump there. Josh tried to look to the outside. I don't think he's going to have enough mo off the top to make a move there. He'll drop back in line there. Further back there, Thomas still trying to make up some moves here. Underneath the 12 of Roberts. What a contact there between him and that Ford Mustang. See him getting around the 12. Wyatt with a little bit of blinking issues right now. I mean, Thomas with a little bit of blinking issues right now. Justin Barkley side by side with that 24. Ford driving to the field. Wrecking in the back. Timothy Cook. Huge it to the inside wall. Not going to be a caution. Him. Loose side of turn number 2 there. Completely knocked the inside wall down there. He'll have to pit there for damage. Caution will not wave. We stay green here from Richmond. Angel Hernandez still leading the way. That 20 machine is not let him get away quite yet. I think that 24 might be a little bit hindered by his blinking issues. Get around Sartaj right now in that 19. You see, Josh has been really driving it down there on entry. Angel being a little bit more passive with it. Been able to get away on exit. This is what I was talking about, that give and take here. Driving in on entry, you know you're going to have a worse exit. But if you know, give up a little bit on entry, you know you're going to have a better exit, right? The battle for the lead there. Thomas all over the back end here of this 19 machine. Sartar is going to be a hard pass. I'm looking to the inside, trying to be patient. Gonna put the bumper there lifted. This is a little bit of momentum out of turn 4. Look at that. Mark Gonzalez. I have 19 spots here from where he started back there at 25th. Battling with his Penske teammate, Wyatt Roberts. For that P5 position. My apologies. No, Mark was the one year last year. He was winning at Richmond last year with the fuel mileage game. Remember him and I believe Justin Johnson came home 1-2. Saving a little bit of fuel there. Remember Gavin Austin, that 88 machine being really quick there, but couldn't hold on to the fuel mileage. He had the pit. Justin up to P5. Be about for P3. Sartaj. Hold on. Thomas Lynn trying to take it. Thomas to drive to the inside. Sartaj holding on strong there on the top. I think Sartaj just gave it away there. He's at 2. Reeling these two in side by side. He said, just take it. I can't afford to. I got to stop the bleeding right here. Gives the 24 P3. I think he knows the 24 is a little bit quicker right now. Not only is he bleeding time to the drivers behind him, but he's bleeding time to the drivers in front. Thomas gets through, and he was, they're a good second behind. 2 up front. Looking up front, you still see Josh trying to put the pressure on this 35. Angel. Angel is one of the only drivers I've ever raced with that doesn't get shaken up by pressure. He's so good at hitting his marks. Keeping that car out in front and, not worrying about the drivers behind. He's keeping those eyes out the front windshield and not in the rearview mirror. He's still running a little bit quicker that last lap than Thomas there. 3.8 for Grasso. Which is Thomas with a 4 flat. Gonzalez looking for the move on the 19. Sartaj back up to the top side. That defensive line there, and they've actually caught back up to this 24. I thought that maybe Thomas would just, when he got around this 19, he'd just go back up straight to the race case for the lead. Try to run down those 2 Toyotas. But he's kind of stalled out here once he got around Sartaj. Just kind of hovering around this 1 and 1.2. Yeah, back to the leaders. still going to get really, really good stage points for him. He's the first of the full-time drivers. Like Mark having some connection issues. Things back into the track, but yeah, I mean, Tom is the first of these full-time drivers. It's going to be out of the full-time drivers, I believe it's Thomas, Sartaj, Mark, Wyatt, and then Dave maybe, and then James Bull's potentially back there in 9th. Because Bryson Bird technically isn't full-time, but still is, you know, inside the top 6 in points. I'm interested to see how they handle, you know, Bryson, because he's had really good runs throughout the race, but throughout this first season, throughout the first part of this season, excuse me, that's what I was trying to say. But hasn't been able to secure a full-time ride. He's been jumping around from seat to seat. I'm in the 36 at one point. I'm in the 38. Obviously now in the 17 here in Richmond. The Cody Meadows going a lap down. Was up inside the top 10 on one point. A lot of right front damage on that 9 machine. Might have got the outside wall or something. When you get wheel damage here, especially at a track like Richmond, the wheels start to fall off the bus very, very quickly. So maybe that's, I mean, I do see a little bit of damage on that 9 machine, so that could be what's happening. So they're just trying to limp around, hoping for a caution right now. Currently, the first driver, a lap, that is laps down, so hoping for the best right now. We approach 15 to go here in stage number 2. Angel Hernandez still leading the field. And these two Toyotas, 1 and 2, have pulled away for the rest of the field. 24 Thomas Flynn, which I thought was potentially the best car in the field, has not been able to pull away from, you know, Sartaj and Mark and Wyatt. And he's hovered around just at 3/10 ahead, Mark, since he's gotten up to P3. To the battle for P4 once again, Mark to the inside of the 19. Sartaj got held up by that lap car of Jorgensen. Allowed Mark to get back to the inside here for P4. Mark needs to have a good run here. Had a terrible first 3 races. If you're Mark, you just have to worry about getting some good finishes under your belt. I felt like that's been Mark's bread and butter. Just, hey, if the best I can get is P5, then I'll get a P5. If the best I can get is P9, I'll get a P9. If I have a winning car, I'm going to go try to win the race, right? If you're Mark, you have to stick to that mentality, right? Do not overdo it, trying to make it past that and put you in a bad spot. I understand you had a big deficit in points, but got a lot of weeks to get those points back. You don't have to get them back all in one race. So the 34 really get a hold up to 2 there. We're going to drive it in here. Almost a little bit of a slider on the 19. 19 still going to get to the right rear quarter panel. Still say side by side here for P4. Give it to the 2 at the line. They've actually ran back down this 24 machine, found it out side by side. So now, not only is Sartaj trying to hold on to P number 4, he's ran down P3. And Thomas is running in Mark's preferred lane here on the bottom. Oh, Mark around! It's the inside wall. Gotta limp it around to get to the stage mark. That's all you can do. This is exactly what I talked about. And not afford to be doing those. Having those types of mistakes. Mark will fall back to P number 9. We'll get some stage points if he can hold on. Look at Stevens here inside the top 10. He'll get some stage points if he can hold on. Exactly what I said he needed to do here at the start of the show. Come in here just right below the cutoff. He needs to put some top 10s together here in the stages. Hopefully he can put together a top 10 finish here tonight from Richmond. Like here, started back there P15, up 5 spots. And just slowly but surely made up some positions here in stage number 2. I'm not sure if you got any points in stage 1. Across the stripe here, it's going to be 2 laps to go here. Josh Grosso took the race lead away from Angel Hernandez. We're watching that battle for P number 4. Really for P3. They got the 24, Thomas Flynn. Josh got around that 35. He'll take the white flag here in stage number 2. I believe we almost went green to yellow here. Almost caution free here in stage number 2. Josh Grosso across the stripe. He's going to get the stage win there. For that number 20 Joe Gibbs Racing Toyota. Went on the top 10 to get across here. Caution wave. So Josh Grosso gets it here. In Richmond will also eclipse the halfway mark here as a caution wave. So stage 2 underway, out of the way here. We're going to go ahead and take one more commercial break, and for the last time here for our live coverage here, and we'll be right back here with some more green to show you what happened after these pit stops here.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head to head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series in officially licensed cars engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Welcome you back here to the virtual Richmond Raceway here for the iSNF Cup Series Week 4 with the Virginia's for Lovers 200. Josh Grosso, stage winner number 1, wins the race off pit road. No one really able to flip the stage there, as it was really green to green here for this second stage. Love to see that. It was a Toyota front 2 for stage number 2. It was Grosso, Hernandez, and then back to Thomas Flynn. Sartaj Maan, your fast 4 at the end of stage 2. So welcome everybody in watching wherever you are in the live chat. Whether you're watching over on High Velocity TV, on the YouTube channel, or over at twitch.tv/ChristianBoss13. We appreciate all the love and support. We appreciate you guys spend taking the time out of your day to watch tonight's broadcast here on this Saturday afternoon. So we know the Truck Series is going on, and really right after we get done here, we'll see the NASCAR Cup Series take to the track here at Richmond Raceway. So a little bit of a preview you might see here later today. But just like that, pace car underway. It's going to be Josh Grosso. Angel Hernandez back to the stripe here at the start of stage number 3. Go jump out of that 20 machine. Going to get clear of the race lead. Thomas Flynn looking to the inside, though. Thomas is going to have equal tires. Caution! Metler. Looks like Eric Jorgensen in the back as well. Caught up at something. Take a look here on the replay. Another replay here, real quick. This is going to green. On board with the 33 here on our chopper cam. Remember, cold tires here on these next gen cars. Oh man, got rain at the back of Bob there in the 41. You see the 22. Nearly missing. You see the 10 of Jorgensen getting the back of the 33 there. 2 ECR engines colliding there. Caution delay for early here in stage number 3. I just looked like a misjudgment there by Bob there in the 41. Didn't expect a checkup there, but Bob, and he's in the top 12. You know, he can't be messing around here. No, Bob's right now in the. If the chase would start today, he'd be in the chase. What a turnaround for this Haas factory team. Look at the stats here. Look at this, up 14 spots. You'll lose some spots here in pit road, I presume. Making sure that he doesn't have any damage on this Haas factory Camaro. Out of pit road, he'll go. No fast repair, so it's not like he can just come down and take it. You'll see him come out of pit road there. Looks like he'll end up. Oh, we're just right outside the top 20 by the looks of it, potentially. So obviously had to give that track position, make sure the car looked okay. But if he can get back up in the top 12, that's going to be a really good finish for Bob. If Bob can get up in the top 12, he'll be outdoing his counterpart by a large margin. Not because I don't like Cole Custards. Because I don't like the Haas factory team. And I was a big SHR fan, and really the only inkling we have left of SHR after Tony left the sport. So here we go. Pace car down and again. Grosso. Hernandez back to the stripe. Another good jump by the 20 machine. To get clear of both lanes here, but here comes the 24. A little bit of sideways action out there. I believe that's James Bowles. Caution again. But they're towards the back. DJ Daniels in the back. He gets into it with, looks like Jeff Weimer. Jeff hasn't been able to catch a break this race. Second restart in a row that we've had an issue. Looking at the 3 here. Daniels. He just gets loose on his own, overcorrects up the track. Oh man, and Jeff just barely gets him there on the right front. DJ just a little bit. Dude, wanting too much out of that car there on a corner exit. It's a little loose there and overcorrects up the track. Caution will wave once again here. We'll see that they're coming out pit side. Some damage fixed. But Josh, able to lead some laps here tonight. Look at this, 21 laps led. Thomas Flynn got the jump on that 35. I didn't know if they would give it to him. You look at Thomas, 49 laps led. Led all but one lap there in stage number 1. And Thomas looks fast. I mean, he's dangerous. I'd love to talk to Thomas, but he's already got some blinking issues right now. Want to interfere with that. We can grab Sartaj real quick up here. Actually, no, they're getting ready to go when to go. We'll talk to Sartaj here. We get another caution here. Next minute or two. Here we go. Pace car. Lights are off on the pace car. Gonna be Josh. Gonna be now Thomas Flynn and that 24 machine. Gonna look to the top side here. Back into the restart zone. And back green here to start lap number 115. Good jump by Josh, but here comes Thomas Flynn looking top side. Trying to build momentum off the top. He should be able to get clear of the 35. Angel's going to peek his nose in there. Going to force that 24. Stay on that top side. He should get clear now fully. Yes, he will. That's a bird. Caution. Maybe Terrence Preston. Take a look here. See Bob locking up the tires there. It was Terrence. Grabs the 77. Grabs the 9 of Cody Meadows. Seen it time and time again. These drivers catching a little bit too much out of their cars here on a corner exit. The caution out once again. Josh, continue with the lead some laps here tonight. We're approaching the 1/3 mark. You'll see the lights should be off here this time by on the pace car. Josh Grosso back in the restart zone, back green here to start lap number 2. Sartaj, really good jump that time. He's going to stick it side by side with the 24 Flynn for P2. Sartaj a little bit loose off the turn 2, though. That's going to allow the 24 to get clear. I'll talk about him before that caution came out. Bryce the Bird coming up through the field. And he's racing up here with, for the most part, you know, iSNF royalty. Josh Grosso, season champion. Thomas Flynn, season champion. Look at the 19. Won 2 of the last 3. You look at the 35, Angel Hernandez, 3-time champion. Then back here, Bryce the Bird, trying to make a name for himself here in the Cup Series. Got the call to drive the 17 here at Richmond. Trying to make the most of it. And back up to P5. His friend Wyatt Roberts back there in the 12, right behind him in 6th. And it just seems like anytime you see these two running well together, they're right next to each other. These guys just drive so similar here in these next-gen machines. You just see them all around each other all the time. You saw that at Atlanta, those two worked with each other. Wyatt should have probably got the win there, and just the pieces didn't go together there. Sartaj got it, right? Look at Iowa. Those two dominated the Iowa race. And this pit strategy didn't go their way, which allowed Thomas Flynn and some others to take advantage there. But the time is coming for that 12 and for Bryson in whatever car he drives to figure it out here, get a win here in the Cup Series. I believe Bryson's still looking for his first win. Yeah. I haven't seen anybody on this hot of a start in their first couple of races in the Cup Series outside of maybe the likes of a Dylan Basin or something like that. So Bryson, come on, has been shot out of a cannon here to the number 12. In a couple of one-off races last season in 11, didn't have the best success. Here, Bryson showing off the speed there. You've seen his top 3 start to get away a little bit. Sartaj trying to hold on here. You still see Thomas Flynn starting to put the pressure on the 20. I think that 24 is dangerous if he's got the same tires as the race leaders here. You see him looking at the inside of the 20. Josh doing a good job blocking off that run there. Force that 24 to back out of it. See now the 24 look at top. Thomas being very, very cordial for the race with the lead here. Trying to do it the right way. Battle for the race lead heating up. Thomas trying to find a way to get around this 20 machine. Or now the 20, using that top side. Being able just to put on just enough of the defense. Keep Thomas Flynn behind. That's Cincinnati. Chevy Camaro trying to find a way around. You've just crossed the 2/3 mark in tonight's race. And back further in the field here, we got 20 cars still on the lead lap. And we have 2 cars 1 lap down. Terrence Preston in the 88. Shane Johnson in that 45. Both 1 lap down, and then everybody else further back. 3 or more laps down. First of those drivers, Jeff Weimer, back there 23rd. Josh will be able to hold on for now. But how impatient does this 24 get? You know, it's been very cordial. Trying to make the pass work here. Did we see the bumper get placed here anytime soon? I think this 24 is a little bit better right now. He's been able to stay up with this with the dirty air. And that's also kind of my concern here. 24 doesn't start to do something different. That dirty air is going to start to affect the handling of this car, right? The longer he gets trapped here, the worse that car is going to drive. The more he's probably going to have to burn off these tires compared to Josh with that clean air, right? To the battle of the lead. 9 down here. We'll go through the field here one real quick while we get the opportunity to. Start off with your race leader, Josh Grosso. Started back there in P9. He's driven his way up to the front. Look at Thomas Flynn. Started first. Hasn't dropped outside the top 10 once this race. Very, very good race for Thomas tonight. Taj here in the 19. Started second. Hasn't dropped outside. I think that was by a pit strategy there, but I haven't seen him really outside of the top 5 strategy-wise all race. Because you look at Bryson Bird. Started outside the top 10 and has slowly driven his way to the front. Up to P4. Just got to cut around Angel Hernandez. Look at Angel. Started P3. But we just haven't seen that long run pace that we're used to seeing out of Angel here in the past. Granted, new package here. More horsepower at these short tracks. Maybe Angel's starting to struggle here. Trying to adapt to this new package. You look for the back here. Wyatt Roberts, the driver, putting the pressure on this 35 for P number 5. I mean, he's had a really good season right now. A really good start of the season for Wyatt. He's been around, this kind of top 5 mark all race long. Looking back to Mark Gonzalez. Probably the most impressive run to the field here is by this 2 machine. Then back here in P7, you see back there, started P25. Didn't even set a qualifying lap. Has driven his way up inside the top 10. Davey Hendricks coming in for the 48 and for Chris Otto. He started back there toward the back with Mark Gonzalez, and he's driven up inside the top 10 as well. Really good run for Davey. You're right here in P9. A really good run for this 47 machine. Scott Trusty had some issues last week with another driver at Iowa. Put that behind him. Been inside this top 10, top 15 conversation all race long. And then Steven Sear. He's just been sitting back here in P10 for the most of the race. This is exactly what he needs to have for the point situation here. Just outside the cutoff line. Got some points in stage number 2. And a P10 finish that will not hurt at all here for the number 5 machine. That looks like with everybody. Single file. Trying to find the rhythm here. Speaking of drivers finding the rhythm, Josh Grosso is pulled away from Flynn here at the 24. Been able to find us a little bit more speed out of this sweep machine. Like I said before, it might be that dirty air. You look at Bryson Bird further back here. He's making a move on Sartaj for P3. Bryson. He's been sneaky all race long. We push 50 laps to go here. He's trying to take this podium away from the 19. Got a podium yesterday in the ARC Pro Series. At Bristol. Looking to back that up here with another podium tonight in the Cup Series. He got to the 19. And Sartaj started to put on that defensive driving that he's really good at. Bryson had to back off a little bit. Yeah, puts off the 17. I see the 19. Having to navigate around the lap car. Jorgensen. Allow Bryson to get to the top side here. 19 to the top though. He's gonna have a good runoff exit. A really hard pass for Bryson. Got to look quarter panel here. Off quarter exit. You see that dirty air. Oh man. And that's the dirty air to its finest. Here comes Mark Gonzalez to the bottom. These are the two cars that have looked the strongest. Mark and Bryson right now. Incredible going through the fields here for both these drivers. Mark looks like he's got a little bit more pace right now. Trying to be patient with the 17. Mark's been checking all the boxes here. When it comes to being successful here in Richmond. Won last season here at Richmond. Granted, it was a fuel mileage race, but Mark was a contender nonetheless, regardless of that fuel mileage. The issue is he wants to get up there towards the front. Got to make quick work out of the 17 and his 19. Seems like he's stalled out right here. Behind Bryson. Got a little bit of work to make up. Sartaj has bled at a almost 3-second gap back to the front too. I think Bryson needs to make the move here if he wants to try to run down those guys. I don't think Sartaj has it in him right now. Get back up to the front too. Bryson doing everything he can. Not enough. I think he's faster. He just can't make the pass. Mark. Put it to the back of the 17. Then of a 3-car gaggle here for P3. Mark going to the top side. 17 caught that lap car in a bad spot there. Bryson did. And it doesn't help that that lap car, I mean, he's just as quick as these guys are right now with the fresher tires. What does Mark do? Mark's a pretty patient driver, but if you're slowing him up, he's not afraid to lay the horn down. He's not afraid to lay the law down here and tell him, hey, you're slowing me down. See, Sartaj, she's gonna actually back out of it there. I think Sartaj might be coming down pit road. As here comes the 19. First car. Make his green flag pit stop. Sartaj saw the fall off and saw that he was getting caught. And I'm going to be the first one to take my pit stop here and undercut the field. Full of fresh tires. Comes a lot of the other field here. Here comes Mark. Here comes Bryson Bird. Sartaj out of pit road here. 9-second stop. 9.9 second stop for the 19. Now, when does this 20 come down pit road? And when does Thomas Flynn come down pit road? I'm Thomas. I'm coming in these next couple laps. You obviously haven't figured it out enough to get back to the 20. Gotta undercut him. See if you can beat him out. So we've seen how incredibly hard it's been the past year at Richmond. We saw Bryson Bird try to get around to 19. We saw the two, Amar Gonzalez, try to get around to 19. Couldn't make it work. He undercut this 20. And can get out in front. He might win the race here. Through the 24. For the back here, Angel Hernandez. Staying out on track here. Open for a caution. This pit cycle, if we would get a caution, be the top 6, the only drivers on the lead lap, and those are the drivers who is almost. I saw smoke up ahead here. Could have been bad for a lot of the field there. I was saying Justin Johnson, also a driver who hasn't come down pit road yet. Ike Iskandar up in the top 7, but I believe he hasn't. No, he still hasn't come down pit road. He's been lapped the hard way, I guess if you want to call it. He's not a lap down because of the pit stop. First car out of this pit cycle right now is that 17, Bryson Bird. He's got a plethora of traffic in front of him here. Look at 3 wide here for these faster cars as they try to dice their way through the field here. Something happened to two of Mark Gonzalez. 2 laps down now. I had a penalty on pit road here. That will ruin any chance on Mark has at getting a good finish. Unless he gets a couple of lucky cautions here at the end of the race. Wyatt. Cycled himself out. And Wyatt hasn't come down pit road yet. It'll be Bryson. Already unlapped himself. And he cycled himself already back up inside the top 6. Thomas Flynn. Caution! The 10 machine around. And that's going to change a lot. That's going to change everything. Everything. With that caution. That traps a lot of fast drivers a lap down here. And at the 10 here. Went into 1 and 2. I believe it could happen in the 3 and 4. So, no. Out of turn 1 and 2, just loses it. Out of turn 2. those older tires. With those new tires, actually. He just came down pit road. Hell spins. And now we'll bring the caution out. And of course, look at what are the drivers who benefits from this caution. Angel Hernandez. Angel's been able to always make this strategy work for him. Whenever he short pits, he doesn't get the caution. And whenever he stays out, he does get a caution. Help keep him up front. Be a race off pit road between him and the 12. Angel gets it. Bryson Bird will be P2 out of pit road. It looks like the 48. Davey Hendricks. Well, not race off pit road, but Bryson Bird, the big winner. So is Josh. They were the only two cars that were able to unlap themselves before that caution came out. So they'll stay out here, and they'll take what P1 and P2. And Sartaj on back. Gonna have to take the wave around. Luckily, they'll get back on the lead lap. But we'll have to start all the way behind everybody here. Now, it's not over for Mark now. He is the first car one lap down. He is by far, in my opinion, the best car one lap down. So it's not completely over for Mark yet. Needs one more caution. That doesn't include him. We'll get back on the lead lap here. And not a lot of laps to go here from Richmond. We're ready to go green here with the 26 laps to go. I believe. I'm interested to see if they will delay the caution here. Everybody is not going to be lined up. Because they will delay the caution. That's a very smart move out of race control there. Hopefully we can get this race under green. We got it lined up almost perfectly. We're just around the time we end tonight's race. We'll be going green for the cup race here from Richmond Raceway. That'd be really cool to see. It's going to put Terrence Preston out front. I think there was a glitch here in the system where he maybe came out and beat the lead lap cars but didn't beat the pace car. Terrence Preston will lead us to green. Ah, man, this is a really, really weird restart there. And wrecking around Bryson Bird. That's going to be a lot of loss of track position there. I think that just all happened because of the weird happenings of the sim there. Bryson Bird, though, battling with Josh Grosso. Race for the lead here with 25 to go. Josh with a good run off the top. And they try to take the race lead away from the 17 as he does. Some smoke. No caution yet. Comes Angel Hernandez. Those fresh Goodyear tires. And he's got 10 lap fresher tires than Bryson. Angel's got to go. Got to take advantage of these fresh tires if he wants to run down his Toyota teammate there for the race win. Bryson just going to have to hold on. the best he can. He's got the older tires. He's got 22 laps. Bryson was so close to getting the strategy right. He would have been the race leader if it would have stayed green. Can Angel earn down the 20 machine? $46 for Angel versus a 41, an 86 for an Angel versus an 81 for Josh there. So it's half a tenth quicker. Is that 20 right now? More smoke. No caution. Back to Wyatt Roberts. Got spun on the restart there. He did a lap car. Being allowed to basically start the race for us. But here he covers back up to P6. Still going to be a decent points day for Wyatt. Doesn't really have anybody up in front anymore they're challenged with, so big vice versa starting to drop through those older tires. Still going to be a good finish for Bryson. Should still get a good top. I don't see him getting caught by James Bowles 7.5 seconds back. He can just stay here in P5, P6. Still going to be a really good day for Bryson. I feel bad because he had the strategy played out right. I think the only person who might have been able to beat him out was your race leader here, Josh, because he had such a gap to the 17 that he probably could have, if it would have went green, he probably could have most likely kept the lead here if it would have went green. See the Cup cars pacing right now, getting ready to go green as we get ready to hit the 15 to go mark here from Richmond. So we'll see this 20 machine starting to pull away, slowly but surely away from the 35 of Hernandez. And further back here, Mark Gonzalez. This is going to be a story of what could have been. Got around the 12. What would have been for P6, but apparently this too dropped the lap down after a mistaken pit road. We're going to get P17 if all goes the same here. Unless we get a caution here within these last 12 laps. Mark is going to let his teammate by. Then no use. There's no wrecking! Sartaj not involved. Caution will wave. And that's exactly what that 2 car needed right there. Take a look here. Off of the 19 car. Find what happened here on this caution. Back a little bit too far. Speed it up real quick here. I think we're going on board with the 10 here. Sartaj just... I think he thought he was going to be clear off of exit. Just wrecks the 10. I don't think Sartaj meant to do that, but Josh will wave. That's exactly what Mark needed. He'll get back out a lead lap. He'll come down, take some tires, and he'll start tail end on the longest line. But by the looks of it, there's only, I mean, there are 24 cars still on track, but I mean, he's gonna have what? Going with 9 to go. We'll be going to 8 to go. We'll probably have six or so laps. Try to get up, trying to make something happen. So, at the very least, he can at least try to make those spots now. He has the opportunity now, and that's all Mark needs. Such a talented driver, so. Get the lights off on the pace car there in the IRL race as they get ready to go green. Ryan Blaney, Chase Briscoe, your front row going into Richmond. Josh Berry qualified third. What a good run for Josh. Still looking for a ride for next season. And while we get the time, I'm a big Josh Berry supporter. I love the way that he got to jump in his career, right? But it's sad that, because he's not in a very good car, right? The fact that he's not in the playoffs or whatever, he's not winning races. I mean, and they're saying that Harrison was the best of the next gen guys. I mean, Harrison got one win at a super speedway. Josh Berry, piloted that to a win at an actual talent track. So, I don't know. Obviously, he's had a terrible season this year, but starting to turn it around. Qualifying P3. But speaking of turning it around, we're going to turn it around. Go back to green here with 6 to go in this race here for the Virginia's for Lovers 200. Angel Hernandez, a good run here out of turn 1 and 2. He's trying to wreck in the back the 48. Saw some contact back there. Davey Hendricks around. He'll grab the 41 to Bob Wyckoff. Back to the restart here. And this has happened in turn 1 and 2 of the restart. They're looking almost 34 wide here. 1 and 2. On the 23. James Bowles just hooks the 48. I think the 48 said, hey, you're going to wreck me. I'm taking you with me, unfortunately. I definitely think he could have pulled off the 23 there. Pretty, I mean, I don't know, maybe it was net code, but looks pretty bad if you're that 48 machine. Especially if you're running part-time. And that's not even your car to wreck. So. Josh Grosso continues to lead. He's been able to stack up these laps led. Half of the laps led by this number 20 machine. I thought maybe that 24, Thomas Flynn, was going to be the guy to beat tonight. But as the track has changed, the last time he led was the last lap of stage 1. So, Josh has just found something different here. The latter half of this race. He's been untouchable. So we should be going into NASCAR overtime here, I believe. Lights are still on the pace car, and we're getting 2 to go here, so I believe we will have some extra laps here added on. This will be our first attempt at a green white checkered. We get 3 attempts here at a green white checkered, I believe. So this will be attempt number 1. Josh Grosso, Angela Hernandez, Toyota front 4. Brought up by 3 Joe Gibbs Racing machines and that 12311 on the top side. Josh Grosso back at the restart zone, back green here for some overtime racing. Angel's going to have to find something special here if he wants to get on that 20. You'll see the side-by-side battle for P2. Here comes Justin Johnson. You see, Thomas Flynn around in the back. And when we get the caution, final lap. We got the white before we got the caution. Josh Grosso, for one more time, through the backstretch. Led half the laps tonight and has been so dominant. And coming through 3 and 4. Go ahead and give it to him. Josh Grosso is going to get his first win of the season here in the Virginia's for Leverage 200. Thomas Flynn, all tore up here at the end. See if we can take a look and see what happened here. Where we look at this burnout. So Thomas, gonna get a good finish here. Gonna look for what, P4, P5. 17. Westerberg sticks his nose in there. And Thomas just cannot hold on. And a lot of drivers get caught up in there. It looks like a 3+ car wreck there. And an unfortunate end to Thomas Flynn's race here. But Josh Grosso, gonna get it done. In Richmond tonight, his first win of the season. On these drivers to get in the waiting booth. I'm not going to go ahead and bore you guys with another commercial. We'll just wait on these drivers to get up here in the HVTV booth as I see Josh Grosso up here in the HVTV booth real quick. We'll go ahead and get our replay started here. Go ahead and talk to the number 20 of Josh up here in the HVTV booth. Hey Josh, it's Christian. Hey Josh, it's shit. Is how long? Oh, that's weird. Okay, I know what's going on here. I think my mic is set up. There we go. Hey Josh, it's Christian up here in the HVTV booth. You got a copy?
I do now, yes.
Well, first of all, congratulations on your first win of the season here in season 12. Obviously, still some part-time work there for you here in the iSNF Cup Series. But obviously, it looked like potentially that 24 was going to be the guy to beat. Looking at that stage 1, led all the laps in stage 1. But obviously, you and your good friend Angel there flipped the stage there to get the track positions there in stage 2. And it just looked like you never looked back there. Leading 104 of 202 laps tonight. Just walk us through the race and walk us through what that difference was to, get you out front and continue to lead these laps.
Yeah, I didn't have the greatest qualifying. I screwed up my second lap. So ended up in 8th or 9th or something. It definitely seemed like the 24 had the pace throughout the first half of the race, but I was able to flip with Angel and get the track position. I think track position was like the most important thing today. And once I got that, got clean air, was able to just kind of keep it there throughout the whole rest of the race.
And talk about the track position. We saw it was really hard to pass, and we saw, especially for you, it was hard to get around you. We saw a couple of drivers who tried to make the dive. We saw Angel try to do it. I think we saw the 17 try to do it. We saw even Thomas, towards the middle part of that race try to do it. What makes it, is it the package? Is it the aero? Grief is a little bit of everything that just makes it so hard to pass you now from Richmond.
Yeah, it's something to do with the package, I think, because it's almost impossible to pass unless you have a huge tire delta. So I was, just running my line, trying to make sure I didn't get snuck in on the inside by Thomas and whoever else, and I was able to cover that off and was able to, keep it out in front.
Obviously, you did a fantastic job doing that. Obviously, we said lead 104 laps tonight. And obviously, we talked about it as well. You running part time, coming out here and doing as much as you can with the time you have, but still a dominant performance here in this DeWalt number 20 machine here from Richmond. Obviously, I feel like you're one of our kind of short track aces. You've obviously won, Gateway. You've
Yeah.
won a lot of these short tracks, so obviously one of the drivers to look out here for at these short tracks when you come in here. But congratulations on your first win here in season 12. Before I let you go, Josh, anybody you want to thank, appreciate, or shout out for tonight's win?
Yeah, I just wanna thank Angel, he was a great teammate throughout the whole race. I know he had a good finish as well. I wanna thank you for the broadcast, and it was good talking to you again.
Well, we definitely appreciate the kind words up here in the booth, and once again, congratulations here, and we look forward to seeing what you can do here in your next couple starts here whenever you decide to show up back here to the Cup Series.
Thanks, man.
Josh Grosso, victorious here from Richmond. We'll go ahead and talk to the bridesmaid here, Justin Johnson. Another P2 finish for him. 0 lap sled. We'll pull up another graphic for him. But Justin Johnson sneaks his way into the top 2 here with that last grid white checkered. Let's go ahead and talk to the number 11. Justin, it's Christian up here in the booth. You got a copy?
Hey, I got a copy.
Well, another P2 finish for you. Um, Seems like anytime I'm talking to you, it's either P3, P2. But still, a really good recovery for you. Obviously, started back third, fourth, and kind of fell back a little bit there for that first half of the race. But we're able to, dig your heels deep and drive your way back up through the field here. Obviously, got that green white checkered attempt there. Got around Angel there for that second place spot there. But just walk us through race tonight. Walk us through the P2 performance.
Oh yeah, I mean definitely at the start of the race, didn't really feel like I had the best car on track tonight. Got some stage points in stage 1. Unfortunately, got into an incident in stage 2 and couldn't get back in the top 10. From there I was kind of trying to go off strategy and go long on the last stage, but we got a fortunate yellow for myself. Put myself in a really good position and very happy to end up with a P2. Unfortunate, if I mean I don't like P2, but I didn't think I was going to finish here tonight, so I'm definitely happy with it.
Exactly. I mean, sometimes you just take them where you can, but obviously looking, here at the point standings, obviously, you've had an up and down season, but still looking pretty good at points. Obviously, looking in New Hampshire, you talked about that these short tracks are something that you like and something you're looking forward to. So, what's the plan going into next week at New Hampshire?
Just the same of the same. Yeah, as you said, I've been up and down season, the DNF Daytona, but then second Atlanta, third last week, and second again here today. So just trying to carry that momentum, keep getting these great finishes, and hopefully New Hampshire could be a win. I think that one's one of my better tracks, so we'll definitely see what this 11 can bring next week.
That's going to be interesting to see what you can do. Obviously, you've been bringing off these good finishes here at these short tracks, and obviously coming to New Hampshire should be a good track for you, but we appreciate your time up here in the HVTV booth, Justin. But before we let you go, anybody once again you'd like to shout out, thank, or appreciate for tonight's run here from Richmond?
Of course, I'm going to shout out the Toyota guys. Obviously, Sartaj, he couldn't finish where he wanted to finish, but P5 is still a great day. Unfortunate day for James Bowles and Shane Johnson as well in sub 20th. And of course, congrats to Joshua subbing in for Nicholas Johnson and getting the win in much, much, much needed owner's point. So I really appreciate that. I can find solace in finishing second to one of my own cars. So great day all around from Toyota, and shout out to all those guys.
Yeah, it sounds like a good day for you guys. Obviously, 1, 2, 3 for Team Toyota. So good race for all you guys are around. But we appreciate your time up here in the booth and look forward to seeing what you can do next week from New Hampshire.
Yeah, hopefully so in first place. Thank you.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, you have a good rest of the night.
You too. Thanks.
Justin Johnson, P2. We'll go ahead and talk to you, P3 finisher. Angel Hernandez, I know he led a couple laps tonight, I believe. See if we can talk to the driver of this race, number 35. 44 laps led for Angel. Angel, it's Christian up here in the HVTV booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Well, a P3 finish for you in this whole 35 team. Obviously, Team Toyota just looked like they were on it tonight. Starting that last restart, 1, 2, 3, 4, between Team JGR and Team 2023-11. But obviously, you looked like you had a fast piece under there. It looked like you had a couple shots to get around Joshua throughout some of the race. Obviously, was ahead of Joshua for part of the race, leading 44 laps. But looking back at that restart, just not enough to get back to him. Is there anything else you could have maybe done different to try to beat that 20 car?
I've been trying to find that out for the longest time. I feel like, I don't know, ever since the next gen came out, like just the last set of tires, I just can't get to work. So I think that's cost me a lot of wins across a bunch of different series and leagues. So I don't know. I'm not gonna say it's all that. It's probably just me doing something wrong, but yeah, I felt like I couldn't really do much else.
Obviously, that's just the way the next gen is. Sometimes they have those little quirks that make it hard unless you're the leader, right? So with the air grief, with
Yeah.
the way the package is, and yeah, but still, nonetheless, a really good race for you. Obviously, when we see you show up to the track, it's always you have to look out for whoever Angel Hernandez is in, right? So and obviously you showed up, showed out. 44 laps led for you in this 35 team. So obviously we know you're running part time as well as Josh. So we know that anytime you jump in the car, you're going to be a force to be reckoned with. But still a good P2 finish, a good points day for that 35 team nonetheless. So a good run for you. So congratulations on a podium finish, Angel. But before we let you go, anybody want to thank, appreciate, or shout out for tonight's run?
Yeah, Josh, Barkley, and everyone else at Toyota. I think we had as you mentioned, I think we had a really, really good finish of the race. So that was the most important thing.
Well, we definitely appreciate your time up here in the booth, Angel. We appreciate you coming and talking to us here after the race, and we look forward to seeing your future endeavors here in the iSNF Cup Series. Obviously, running you part time, but we appreciate your time and hope you have a good rest of the day.
All right, thank you. You too.
Angel Hernandez comes home P3 tonight here from Richmond, and what a way to finish it off here. Green white checkered finish. Obviously, it's something we were used to seeing here from iSNF, but came down to the 20 and the 30, 35, and Josh will just be able to best that number 32 machine. But go ahead and take a look at our unofficial race results for tonight's race. Obviously, nothing is set in stone yet until we get the word from the admins, but look back here at first your top 10. Look at Josh Grosso, Justin Johnson, and Angel Hernandez, your podium drivers this year. Finishing top 3. We talked to all 3 of those drivers here this last minute. Well, you look at Bryce Bird, a P4 finish, obviously made a little bit of contact with the 24 to get it. Obviously, I don't think Bryson meant to do that, but nonetheless, a good finishing position for Bryson. And that 17 team. Look back to Sartaj Maan. Started P4th. He'll get P5 out of it. Still a good points finish for him. He should easily still come out of tonight leading the points. And Steven Chu with the top 6. What a race for him. We talked about him just needing the top 10 finish. He's going to almost get a top 5 from Richmond. So a good recovery for Steven here. Wyatt Roberts back to P7. Craig Lautenschlager, Scott Trusty, and Miguel Rangel, your top 10. Look for the back here outside the top 10. Davey Hendricks, Mark Gonzalez, a really good rebound. Up a couple spots there from that P17 spot he was trapped in. He'll get up a P12 spot. John Hopley, Mike Iskandar, Thomas Flynn, Justin Barkley, Timothy Cook, your top 17. And drivers on the lead lap. You'll see 18th up back. Wood lap down or more. Bob Wyckoff, Terrence Preston, Jeff Weimer, your top 20. Again, further back here. Shane Johnson, James Bowles, Larry Fairman, Jackson Trusty, Eric Jorgensen, Cody Meadows. Another disastrous start of the season for him. Matt Mentler, Dean J. Daniels, Enrique Cuculone, and Brian Treadwell round out your 30-car field tonight. But what a race. What a way to end it here from Richmond as you continue to see your unofficial race results scroll across the bottom of your screen. But what a way to end it here. And another congratulations to Josh Grosso. His one-off start, at least here at the start of the season here. He gets it done here from Richmond to win the Virginia's for Lovers 200. Congratulations to Josh. What a performance. Led 100-plus laps tonight here in Richmond. So congratulations to him on his first win. As we get ready to call it night here, I'm not going to continue to waste your time as I know the Richmond race is on. So we're going to go ahead and call it night. But once again, my name is Christian Delgado, your lead producer and commentator for tonight's race. We appreciate everybody for coming out and watching the broadcast, wherever you are in the world. If you wouldn't mind dropping a like, hitting that subscribe button on the YouTube side, or if you're watching over on Twitch, wouldn't mind dropping us a follow. That would be also very appreciative. We appreciate all your guys' time tonight, and we hope you guys have a great rest of this Saturday. But once again, you've been watching iSNF Cup Series production here on High Velocity TV. Hope everybody has a great rest of your Saturday night, and we'll see you guys on the flip side.